15 years ago we walked here and weren't bit by them. Now we get bit almost every time.
They're modern vampires. 50 to 100 bites a year. That's a minimum.
The bacteria is spreading in the tick population. Their bite transmits the infection.
Would want to wake up and just be like, okay, yeah, I just slept the whole day and now it's nighttime and I still want to go back to sleep.
The headaches hurt so much. I think all my neighbors could hear me yelling.
After 16 years of doctors telling me that it was all in my head.
No, you're not ill. It's psychosomatic. Go see a shrink or a psychologist. You're crazy. That's what most patients are being told.
It's the #1 worldwide spreading vector-borne epidemic. The #1.
This story has a guilty party, and it's invisible, or almost. A tiny insect that carries a dangerous disease, the tick, an acari barely a quarter-inch in size that transmits a terrible and largely unknown disease, Lyme borreliosis, or Lyme disease. The northeastern United States is one of the regions on the planet that's the hardest hit. In the state of New York, Dr. Ostfeld concentrates his research on the environmental causes for the current increase in the tick population. He doesn't have to search far to collect specimens.
A nymph right there. There's another nymph right here. These ticks are everywhere. They're out in the middle of the woods. They're right next to people's houses. They're right next to roads. That's one of the reasons why Lyme disease is the threat that it is. And so these nymphal ticks, this stage that we just pulled off the cloth, are responsible for the vast majority of Lyme disease cases and other tick-borne diseases as well.
Invulnerable and camouflaged, perched atop blades of grass, patiently lying in wait, the tick is a solitary hunter. It can wait for weeks before attaching itself to its prey. It's armed with dual appendages called chelicerae and a harpoon-like hippostome. The chelicerae pull themselves into the skin. Then the hippostome pushes itself between them, piercing a vein and allowing the tick to nourish itself with blood. This meal can last several days. As it becomes filled with blood, the tick can grow to the size of a peanut. But this minuscule vampire is only dangerous if it's infected with a bacteria. The combination of these villains, the tick and the bacteria, results in the propagation of Lyme disease.
The tick inoculates its host with Borrelia bacteria. The full name is Borrelia burgdorferi. The inoculation occurs in the skin. A circular rash may appear in 2/3 of the cases. It doesn't remain constant. Often, it isn't taken seriously by a doctor or a pharmacist or a family member. It's considered a simple insect bite and it goes untreated. If untreated, the disease evolves for several weeks in a subacute form. Then, within months or years, the disease becomes chronic. The disease will evolve in this manner for 10 or 20 years, or for a lifetime if the patient remains unaware and the Lyme disease goes untreated.
Several weeks of antibiotics started just after the tick bite is sufficient for eliminating the infection. But if the victim isn't treated in time, the disease becomes very complicated. This bacteria is a veritable time bomb. It can lie dormant in the body for years, suddenly awakening when the immune system becomes weakened.